Langkah pertama adalah hal tersulit yang semua orang harus hadapi, termasuk aku. Gak mau nyusahin orang, selalu minta bantuan. Jadi, aku lebih sering menyendiri. Ngabisin waktu ngutak-ngatik komputer sendiri. Ternyata tanpa sadar bisa membuahkan hasil. Pelan-pelan aku bangun rasa semangatku. Aku memutuskan untuk bangkit dan belajar banyak hal baru. Semakin hari pengetahuanku semakin bertambah. 900 jam belajar machine learning hingga bahasa Inggris. Buat Adi yang dulunya berkecil hati, sekarang jadi lebih berani. Tanpa aku sadarin, ternyata aku udah ngambil langkah demi langkah maju ke depan. Sekarang aku berkarir sebagai AI engineer. Sekarang aku bisa ikut bantu berkontribusi untuk industri kesehatan bangsa. Bantu permudah distribusi dengan bantuan teknologi AI. Bekal pengetahuan yang aku pelajari di Bangkit. Kadang situasi bisa mengkondisikan pola pikiran, tapi aku bisa memilih untuk bangkit. Ambil berapapun langkah maju yang aku mau.
Hello everyone, how are you guys? I hope you still keep the spirit high today because we want to hear a very interesting topic about a glimpse into the life of an Android developer. You guys will learn about how to make your step to become an Android developer, what industry trends, and the career journey as an Android developer. And if you guys have any question, feel free to ask on the YouTube comment section with format hashtag ask underscore your Bangkit ID underscore your questions. And please don't be shy to ask your question because the best question will get 250 points from Bangkit. So if other people says if you are shy of asking question, you will get lost in your way. But we say if you're shy of asking question, you will get lost your chance to get your Bangkit point. So today I'm Nadia Angelia and I'm Bangkit graduate 2023 from Mobile Development Learning Path. And today as a moderator on the third guest speaker session. And we will invite our speaker today, Kak Nabila Sabaha. She is the lead software engineer Android at Tokopedia. So here we go. Hello Kak,
Yay.
how are you today?
Hi, Nadia. Thank you for introducing me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, but I'm also feeling nervous today.
Stay with
So
me.
may I know, Kak, where are you right now? Are you at your office, Tokopedia?
Yes. At the office right now.
Oh, I bet so many Bangkit cohort right now have a dream to join Kak Nabila work in the Tokopedia
Oh,
also.
let's go.
So,
Let's go. Come in.
okay, just come in, guys. So, Kak Nabila will tell you guys today about the insightful things related to Android developer. So, let's get started. Kak Nabila, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Nadia. Okay. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to this session. So it's truly a pleasure for me to have opportunity from Bangkit Academy and share a little bit of my knowledge about Android developer career with all of you. I'm so happy to see many passionate individuals here today, even though we are doing this online. I can say this uh, I'm pretty sure you are all eager to expand your knowledge and grow both personally and professionally. Today, I think it's more special because we will talk about exploring the pathways Android developers. And I will give you a lot of stories, by the way, today. We're not talking about technical things, not much, I mean. I will give you a lot of stories, what kind of daily life of an Android developer in a company like Tokopedia, and then what kind of essential skills that commonly Android developer here have, and then career pathways and Android trend. Uh, and then, okay, because you guys have been studying a lot with experts in Bangkit about technical stuff. So here we only have 2 hours and let's talk about non-technical things. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nabila Sabaha. You can call me Nabila. I'm a lead software engineer Android in Tokopedia. And currently, I'm working on user and account platform stuff like login, register, and then verification, kind of like that. And then previously, I handled a lot of business unit in Tokopedia, like user and account, media, chat, retail, digital, travel, entertainment, and sharing experience. I will talk about what kind of learning that I have after handling those things later on. So please bear with me until the end of session. By the way, 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, I got an email from Bangkit team, and they asked me whether I could be their guest speaker in Bangkit or not. Then, without thinking twice, I said yes at the time because the invitation reminds me a lot about my past when I was a university student around 2012. At the time, I was very active in a internal and external, how can I say, like university organization. And I have volunteered for so many events. For example, Google Business Group, Google Developer Group. Maybe you guys heard those a lot. But all of them were in Surabaya because I was graduated from Institut Teknologi 10 November Surabaya. And I was also a Google Student Ambassador in the past. So when I come to the event and every time I listen to the speakers, I was always curious, like, how could these people survive in the technology industry? Because where the technology right now we have is evolving rapidly, right? And after being Android developer for 8 years, based on my personal experience, I think I know the answer. But I will answer that question in the essential skills later on. I have that session. And another reason is quite simple because I've been in this industry for more 8 years. And if I can give back to the community, I think I will be very happy to do that. That's why I'm here today. So without further ado, let's dive into my presentation. Don't forget to ask your question on the chat, guys, so the team can collect the questions and we can discuss it later. Okay. Yeah, this is the overview. Maybe you can see, you will see a lot of cute icon, source from Tokopedia. And I hope they can keep you awake during the session. We will have four part today. The first one is daily life. The second one, essential skills. The third one, career pathways. And then the fourth one, industry trends. So the first question, how is the daily life of an Android developer? Maybe you guys curious about it? Okay, Android app development. Okay, I can see here comments. Maybe from you guys, do you guys have idea what kind of Android app development? Maybe you can put your answer on the chat. If it's possible. But if not possible, it's okay. So I can continue this one, and then later on I will have some questions. So if you have things in your mind, you can just put it on the chat, right? Okay, Android app development, it's kind of like this. Maybe some of you who intern or maybe have opportunity working in the company like Tokopedia for intern or for maybe not only Tokopedia, yeah, other company or startups, maybe quite aware with this kind of life cycle development. The first one is breakdown idea. Wait a moment, not breakdown. Oh, brainstorm idea. The first one is brainstorm idea. This kind of brainstorm idea commonly by product team or sometimes from engineer team. They come up with idea like, what about making things like X or Y or Z, like that. And then from that idea, they will bring to the engineering team. So we have a discussion and exploration. Exploration means like we can explore, is it possible or not if we implement that in our app. For example, creating Instagram stories maybe, or reels, is it possible? Like if not possible, how we can make it possible? So if we cannot, if we haven't experienced for that things, we need to do like a proof of concept or doing POC first. And then after exploration, we basically like discuss again with the product team and with other stakeholders, like the requirement is quite clear enough or not. If it's not, we need to go back again to discuss. And then we will like discuss which requirement is not clear and how make it clear, and then what kind of things that we need, like that. And then after that, we will go, if the requirement is clear, so we can start to do kickoff. And then after kickoff, we will discuss like what is the API contract, and then what is the test cases that we have to make the features pass test in the end, and then and related to the development preparation. After that, we move to development phase. So the engineer can start to coding, start to make a implementation of the UI, and then creating the unit test or instrumentation test, the automation test. And then after that, we will move to the testing. So testing here, we can do testing by engineer, but doing smoke test or run the automation test. But we also can test the app by the test engineer or quality assurance QA. And then if the test passed for all test cases, so we just move to merge the feature. But if it's not, we will go to the bug fix phase. And then after that, we will test again, and it will be like a circle to test again, and then bug fix again, test again, like that. And then after that, we will move to the release. We will merge the feature to the release branch. After that, we will do bug test. Bug test means we will test the whole app end to end. And then if it's impacted to other feature, we need to bug fix again. And then doing like that over and over again after all of the test cases, or the app is we call it like a green, like for example, it's done for all the things. So and then we will release the feature, and then after that release the feature to the Play Store, and then after that we do monitoring, like if there's any bugs or not in the Play Store, like that. So that's an Android app development. And then the next would be daily responsibilities. Okay. Oh, there's a comment. Sorry guys. Okay, kecil banget tulisannya. I'm so sorry. I think I already make it like a bigger one. Yeah. Okay, I think that one only that part, the smaller one. Okay. Next to the daily responsibilities, what do you guys think about daily responsibilities as Android developers? Do you guys have? Oh yeah, diagram is too small. Sorry, yeah. For the daily responsibilities, what do you guys think? Is there anything that you want to share on the chat? Maybe. Fixing bug. Okay, there's a comment, fixing bug. Okay, other thing maybe? It's not only fixing bug, guys. We need to release it to the million users. So it's not only fixing bug and not only creating feature. Oh, daily maintenance. Okay, daily maintenance. Update the UI. Okay, update the UI. Updating new versions. Oh, you mean that if we upgrade the OS version to handle like OS 14, we need to update the version like that, the app, update our app. Okay. Update operating system, yeah, it's same. Code review, okay, code review, I got it. Clean code, upgrade the API level, okay. Yeah, I think most of you guys have idea what kind of daily responsibilities that we have, but it's not only that. So the first part, I make it to the two part. So the first part is this kind of thing. Maybe it's not really into your mind. But the first thing we do, if we get tasks from product or maybe tasks technique, for example, updating API or things, we need to break down the task first. Because most of the time, we as an engineer, we will hear like, if, for example, we'll make a feature. So from the product team, can ask like this: can you build a media editor like Instagram stories and reels, for example? How many days do you need to build that feature? And then, can I get the estimate tomorrow? It's quite a simple question actually, but the answer is not that simple. Because since we don't know yet how to crop the image and then how to add text to the image, and then even we don't know how to add the music or media to the image, and then we need to flatten those all of those and then make it to one object. So we don't know yet about that. And if we only think about it, like, we will thinking that it's not possible, I think, for us to build a media editor like that. It's just too big as a feature, and it's quite hard to implement. With this question is in our head and mindset that it's just too big, and then it means that we need to write down things that, for example, which kind of thing that we don't know yet for now. We don't know understand how to implement A, B, C like that, and then things that we already know, and we can start to describe what types of components are in the image editor and then video editor, and then put all of your thoughts on your Google Sheet. Because here, the purpose of breaking down the task, it divides larger project goals into smaller one and then more manageable tasks, and we call it as a user stories. We can do, for example, if we don't know how to implement the add text to the image, we can do the POC first, or proof of concept. So before jumping to the project, we can explore the tech stack needed to implement the feature. And then move to the next one is designing and implementing UI. Before we implement the UI, we need to design it first, right? Which component needs to be used, recycler view or not, or maybe custom view, because the component is used in another page as well. To avoid redundancy, we make it as a custom view, and then design. We want to use Jetpack Compose or maybe XML-based layouts in our UI, like that. And then the next one, I think it's your favorite part, coding. It's development phase, yeah. I think most of Android developers, beginners, have a thought that as a developer, I think my daily basis will be coding only. No, that's not true. Coding is just part of Android development, because to release an app to the Play Store with 1 million users, we need to understand a lot of things. Not only expert on the syntax or have a cool code, yeah, kan? I mean, if you are afraid that maybe right now you still cannot remember function name or syntax, it's okay, guys. No one remembers all syntax though. For me, especially, I didn't remember all of the syntax. The important thing is making sure that you love to learn new things. Because, for example, when I was a university student, I started to code Android. I started with Java, and then Java and Eclipse, if you know that. And then after time goes by, Kotlin come in, and then yeah, I need to learn Kotlin because all of people like using Kotlin. So that's why I say that the things that important for you is you need to love to learn new things. Because previously you learn Java, and then after that you need to learn Kotlin, like that. And then the integrating backend services means when we try to make our app displaying data dynamically and it comes from the server, we need to integrate our app with backend services. Whether it's using RESTful APIs or GraphQL endpoints, As Android developer, we should understand how to connect the app with the backend services to fetch and send data between client and server. Especially in Android, the common library that we use for networking is Retrofit, right? And then next is testing and debugging. Oh, no, no, no. Back. Testing and debugging. Have you ever seen app with a lot of bugs? Maybe you guys have ever seen. It's annoying, right? I always think that probably developer is not testing the app enough. That's why the app is buggy, even though it's already in production or in Play Store. And debugging closely related to testing, I think. Why? Because when it comes to a report from a test engineer or quality assurance or maybe report from a user, and we don't know why the app is buggy, we need to go back to our code again, right? And review it and debug it. We check, is there any logic that it's not properly used? Or uh, maybe we need to check if the value is properly passing through the code or not, like that. So that's why after debug, we need to test. And then after test, if there's something wrong, we need to debug again and kind of like that. And then the next one is manage collaboration with other Android team through Git, code review, and pair programming. It's common for doing collaboration with other Android team because this is part of I can say like a communication and teamwork within the Android team, because it's important for us to manage and collaborate code changes with other team members. For example, which branch that we need to use, like we need to change the branch from release to release X, or for example like that. And then after that, after we release, we will merge it to the master, kind of like that. We need to collaborate with other team members. And then the next one is manage collaboration with cross-functional team. For example, backend, products, designers, test engineers, and data analysts. Collaborating with UI UX, for example, it can help us to translate design mockup or wireframes better into functional Android UI components, and working closely with product team or product manager can help us to understand project requirement and prioritize the development tasks. The next daily responsibilities are this one. The first one is implement automation tests. As I've mentioned before, we always like do testing after developing a feature or bug fix or on our app. I think it's quite a repetitive task that we do, especially for Android developer who work on their own product. I mean, not as a software house or we have a client, then hand over an app and done. For example, Tokopedia, we have a product, right? The app Tokopedia is our product, and we need to maintain it for long time. So that's why it's important for us to have an automation test. So we don't need to do like testing over and over again. It can be automation test by test engineer team or from the Android developer team itself. Example, we can implement unit tests. And then the second one is instrumentation tests. And those can help us to focus more on the feature development with a good quality, because after we develop a feature, we can just rerun our task. So every time there's a change in our code, we only again rerun the test. So it will help us a lot. And then the next one is optimizing app performance. Here, it's more on the maintenance, I think. Yeah, it's part of the maintenance, because after we release the app, sometimes we just think that, oh, this page is just too slow, or maybe why a lot of users complaining that I think in their part, the UI is not that good, like that. So identifying and resolving performance bottlenecks in the Android application, such as we can check the memory leaks. Is there any memory leaks in your page? And then check the CPU usage, or checking is there any slow rendering or not. And then the next one is deployment or release feature. This is part of, we need to deploy our app to the Google Play Store or other distribution platforms. Like for example, in Xiaomi, there's a other like distribution platform. They have their own distribution platform. So if we want to upload to the Xiaomi store, we need to upload it there as well. And then following App Store guideline, and then to implement the best practice, because sometimes from Play Store, for example, they have like change every time they change the guidelines. For example, for the data safety, we need to put like what kind of performance, with what kind of permission that we have. I mean, permission that we have, like, and then we need to inform them what is the performance, so it can be useful for user can see, and they can from Google Play Store can display those permission to the user, and then they can see, oh, this is the permissions that Tokopedia need, and I need to approve it, like that. And then we need also monitoring app performance and user feedback. And after releasing the feature, we always like checking in the Play Store dashboard, like what about our performance app, and then is there any user feedback, and so we can do like bug fix as soon as possible if there's any complaint from user. And then the next one is maintenance. Maintenance is, I think this is my favorite part. I don't know why, because how can I say? Fun fact, yeah. I love to refactor code actually with the latest tech stack, or simply reduce the complexity of the code. It's based on the priority. It's not all the feature we can refactor, but for example, we cannot refactor all code that we think it's outdated. But when it comes to priority, for example, oh, this code is still using Java, and people and for that feature, there's a development in the next 2 months later. So if we adding more logic on the current complex code, I think it's not wise, because it's still using Java, and maybe there's a lot of complex logic there. So the best thing that we can do, we need to improve it first, and then like for example, we convert it into Kotlin, and then improve the complex logic to simplify all of those, and then after that we can implement the new things on it. I think that's kind of maintenance. And there's a comment in the chat that maybe we need to update the minimum OS version, for example. That's part of the maintenance. And then staying up to date with the latest technology. Keeping up to date with the latest development and Android development, including new SDK feature, tools, library, design guidelines. I think it's part of that. And then experiment with the new technology, for example, Jetpack Compose, like that, or maybe Kotlin multi-platform, right? And then the next one is POC or research. Did you remember what I said about Instagram Stories and Reels project that I've mentioned previously on the breaking down task? Doing proof of concept is important for us, and it can help us to gain more confidence on implementing new features. Which libraries are having a good performance, and which libraries that can answer our questions about flatten image and adding text. So it can be one flatten image and text can be one object after editing done, like that. That's why sometimes we need to do research or doing POC first. And then the last one is documentation and knowledge sharing. This is part of, I think, maintain a well-documented code base can help us to share knowledge and best practice to other team members. And if there's any like new members in our team, it's really easy for us to hand over it to them like that. Okay, I think that's part of daily responsibilities in general. And we can move to next question. What are the essential skills required for an Android developers? Do you guys have idea, guys? Maybe we can go back to the chat. Apa tuh? Essential skills required for Android developer. Kotlin, problem solving, debugging skill, nice. TSA, what is TSA? Can collaborate with team, time management, nice. Managing then implement, UI design and how to turn design into real app. Problem solving is a must, yeah, okay, agree. Data structure and algorithm, OOP, UX. Oh, there's a lot of answers. Thank you, guys. Okay, I think before jumping to that essential skills, yeah, I need to share my Android journey first. So this is my Android career journey. Back in the 2012, I believe how to call that, like I'm today the result what I've done in the past, yeah. All of the experiences helped me to give a different perspective as an engineer, including being active in the organization, whether it's internal or external campus, and working with a lot of people when I was still a freelancer and moving from one company to another. I think it gives a lot of how to call that, like new mindset, and then different perspective like that. If I can say, if I was a freshman in 2011, I was struggling a lot actually at the time, since I don't know many things about what I would learn in computer science. I'm a bit stressed at the time because it's just too hard for me. Computer science is just too hard. Since I was a scholarship receiver as well, I didn't give up easily because no one will pay my tuition fee. So I study as much as I can in my first year. And then in the next year, in 2012 and 2013, I was curious about how it feels to join a community or organization. And then I started to think maybe I can juggle a bit of my activities. So I joined several communities. The first one is Google Student Ambassador, and then the second one, Female Dev, and any other internal organization in the university. And then the next year, in 2014, I interned as an Android developer at Tujuh Langit. And then this is where I start to learn Android in a serious way. And then in 2015, okay, go back to 2014 first. Yeah, this experience teach me a lot about how to build an Android from scratch. And even though it's hard, I think for me, it's a fun experience. And then the next year, in 2015, I joined Google Top Contributor, or we call it right now Google Product Expert. PE, Google PE, Google Product Expert. And this is a community where basically as a bridge for Google product consumers with Google team itself. So we are in the between Google users, Google product users, and Google team. And then we help users troubleshoot their issue and escalate their issue to the Google team as well. Here, I learned a lot about how to build an app with a good user experience, because in some cases, there's an issue from users. For example, they cannot understand what errors show up in my screen device when they add payment methods. And then how to do account recovery, I don't know how to do that here. And then from those kind of cases, it teach me to build app with a clear step for users. If something wrong happen, I think we need to add more steps for them. Like, yeah, after this, you can just doing A, B, C, like that. So they can do troubleshoot their own issue independently. And then I also work for like, oh, sorry. In the freelance, I also work on the one project in Jakarta. It's also give me perspective about doing real Android project. And then after that, because I have enough experience after graduated from ITS, I got my first job as a software engineer Android at Ice House. And in that job, I also worked for like 3 until 4 projects, if I'm not mistaken, during my time at Ice House. Since it's a software house, yeah, it gives me experience on how to build an app from scratch with a good quality. I also learned practice a lot how to speak in English for a demo or presentation in that company, and I think that's one of the good memories I have. And then another good memory that I can recall right now, I built a Wear OS app. Yeah, at that time, I already like built Android OS Wear OS app for stock trading. It feels like I think it feels like a pioneer in the industry, since a small number of people built an Android Wear OS app at the time. And then 2017, I still work on the one of the freelance Android project again before move to Tokopedia, and after thing like I think I want to learn how to have my own product and release it to many users, and I want my work to give impact to many people. That's why I moved to Tokopedia in the early of that year. I was in a digital product team. If you see the Tokopedia app, the product are kind of top up and bills like pulsa, paket data, pasca bayar, and then listrik, pembayaran pajak, and many more. That's part of the digital products. And at the beginning, I just like do bug fix only, then revamp the page, and then build new feature. And then the difficulty was increasing with handling other business unit like a payment toko cash, but it's already gone. The feature is not there anymore. It's sunset now. And then gamification like egg game, tap tap, egg game, and then we call it loyalty program. And then I was on that team at that time. And then moved to 2018, the responsibility was increasing day by day until I got a promotion as a senior software engineer. And I need to handle another thing, which is digital and payment. And then I also integrate some of the SDK. And then I also handle the travel part of travel are flight, kereta api, hotel, and then another things. Also, I handle entertainment, which have voucher and deals. After that, in 2020, I got an opportunity to gain more responsibility as a lead software engineer. And in this position, I started to have kind of comfort zone because I know so well for the digital product. Because I handle it like more than 3 years, 3 years, and then I know so well the product that I handle. Don't need to study at all, and then I can manage the projects, and I love to manage people too. So cool, that's perfect. But in the 2022, my comfort zone doesn't last long because in that year, there's a reorganization inside of the Android team. Means I need to move to another team. That's kind of a disaster because it's still a COVID at the time, and everyone is working at home, and I need to manage new people who I don't really know well and manage completely new things. So it's kind of crying for me, but it's okay. Since I'm not going to give up anyway, I started my new journey to the new team with a lot of worries, actually. One of them, like, uh, they want to work with me or not, yeah, like that. I'm scared that maybe the new team wouldn't accept me since I'm a woman. I don't know. It's kind of just crossing my mind. In my previous team, there's at least one or two women, so I felt safe in the team. But this time, I'm only a woman in the team, so I convinced myself that it's okay, Nabila. It's okay. Everything will be okay. And then I started my time in the new team with doing one-on-one with all of them, talking about many things, like about their work style, their work in the past, and then their plan, their aspirations. And after that, we discuss random stuff as well. And then I make plan to study as fast as I can because all of the product are new for me. And I also try to practice more on active listening to my team, try to understand their perspective or how they can solve the problem in the project, and then discuss their worries and then their growth aspirations, and creating new events such as doing sprint retrospective outside of the office, and then celebrate small wins and many more. As time goes by, it feels fun for me to work with them, and we're able to release a lot of new features, and it's so happy for me. And it gives me like a lot of experience to adapt fast in the new environment. And then starting this year, the company changed the roles from how to call that, like lead software engineer Android to technical leads. And this impacts me with handling less business units, but I need to deep dive more on the technical aspect of the project. So it's not like the previous one, because the 2022 I handled like 5 business unit: account and user platform, communication, media, and new retail sharing experience. But this year I just handle like a three business unit, but the active one is account and user platform, like that. It's quite a long story for me to be Android developer until today. And the next one, I want to share with you what is the essential skills. Okay, what is the essential skills? Yeah, what do you guys think? So I read some like debugging skill, problem solving, Kotlin. So we talk about that right now. So the first one, for sure, we will talk about hard skill. So the hard skill, we will I will just break down the technical skill here. Like the first one, you need to proficiency in Java or Kotlin. But for now, Kotlin is more important. So if you guys starting to how to call it, like thinking, okay, I think I want to be an Android developer. So you guys start from Kotlin first, learn Kotlin. And then the second one, Android API or SDK, like learning about the Android lifecycle, fragment, activity, how to use service, how to use intent, how to use related to the Android knowledge. And then the third one, UI UX design. I think this is more on put yourself as a user. For example, I want to implement things like feature homepage, for example. And then how, as a user, how can I make the homepage quite good for us. Like for example, it's the design is good or not, like that. How we use the homepage? Do we use the scroll to the left or right, or we will make the homepage the simple one, and we need to add like a button in the bottom or not, or we need to give navigation, other navigation like that. So you need to like use as much as app as you can, so we can just learn. Oh, I think the design is not good. Oh, I think the UX is not good. So I think better like this, better like that, like kind of the things. And then the next one is Android Studio. You need to learn, because there's a lot of components inside of the Android Studio. You can use like terminal, you can use emulator, you can use, there's a lot of setup on the Android Studio. You can just explore it. And then Kit. Kit is where you can do the version control for branching, because as I've mentioned before, like if you know how to use Git, it will be very helpful for you to start as an Android developer in a team, because here we also use Git in our daily basis. And the next is unit test and instrumentation test. It's kind of we call it automation, because if there's something wrong in the code, so we can just rerun our test, and they will like show us which function that broken, or which flow is broken, like that. It will help us a lot. And then backend integration, it's related to the endpoints, network, like that. And then local DB management. Local DB management, more on the how you manage the data that you display to the user. Is it use local DB or use cloud from the server, like that? And then the second skills, I will show you the soft skill. So why it's important, like communication, for example, it's crucial, I think, because we work not only by ourselves but also with other people. So if we cannot communicate our thoughts, our ideas, it will be disaster. So learn to communicate like effectively, like doing active listening, and then you need to learn how to articulate your idea concisely, and then you need also learn to provide constructive feedback for other people. And then the next one is problem solving. As time goes by, we will get harder problems in our daily basis. We need to overcome challenge, and then solve complex problem, right? And then if we practice problem solving by breaking down problems into smaller management tasks, it will help out a lot. And then the next one is you can brainstorm solution, and then being resourceful and creative in finding solution. Because problem is not easy. Every time we have like bugs, for example, it's not always easy. It's always like medium hard or very hard. So you need to learn to, how to call that, like practice to do problem solving in day by day. And then the next is adaptability. We need to be adaptable and flexible in changing circumstances and unexpected challenge. Like in my experience, like for example, previously I handled digital, and then the next day I need to move to another team. Like, yeah, I need to adapt as fast as I can. I need to learn that, okay, I will let go what I have done in digital. So I need to move on to the new team, and then I need to adapt what kind of things that I need to learn, what kind of a plan that I need to have, like that. So practice adaptability by embracing change, and we need to remain like open to new ideas and perspective, and adjusting strategies and plan as needed. And then team management and prioritization. Oh, I should add the prioritization here. So in my experience, when something is suddenly coming up, for example, a major bug, I'm still working on a feature or something else, I need to review my past. Which one is more priority, like the higher one, which one is the higher priority? Is it urgent or not? And it needs to be solved as soon as possible or not? If the answer is yes, I will move to that task first. Yeah. And then attention to detail. As an Android developer, we have a lot of things we need to pay attention to. Like, for example, user experience, UI, code quality, and then compatibility with app version, and then performance, and then security, and many more. So, yeah, it's not only coding, creating feature, but also there's a lot of things that we need to uh, pay attention to it. And then the next one is teamwork and collaboration. We work in a team. Yeah, it is impossible that we can release the app without help from someone else. So it's important for us to maintain a good relationship with the team and to collaboration with others. And then the next one is creativity. Uh, how we can solve the problem is not only one way. Sometimes if we explore, like, we can come up with a lot of options to solve one problem, and then we can choose and decide which one is the best solution. That's why we need to be creative as Android engineers. And then the next one is leadership. For me, leadership is not only for lead only, but it can be leadership for ourselves. Even though you are like associate or senior, you have to have this leadership in yourself. So how we can be responsible that how we can be responsible with our tasks is part of it, and then how we can communicate clearly with other people about our ideas, our thoughts, and then empathy towards others, and maybe how we mentor our teammates. Like, that is part of the leadership. Okay, that's all for the essential skills. And then we move. The time is over or not, yeah, Kak Nadia? I'm so sorry. Still have time?
Go on, Kak.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Kak Nadia. Okay, go on, yeah. After essential skills, the next question: what career pathways are available for Android developer? Maybe in your thoughts, only like, oh, junior, associate, or maybe senior, like that. What do you guys think? Do you know? Lanjut, Kak. Do you know what kind of job that in your mind for Android developer, or position that you know as an Android developer? Maybe you can put on the chat. Is there any? Or no idea? I only know about senior Android developer. Okay, there's an answer from Kevin. JRSR lead staff. Huh? Kebalik ya. Junior, senior, staff lead. Supposed to be like that. Oh. Management and coding. Okay. Tech lead and CTO. Okay. And then the one answer again. Okay. Maybe next, yeah. Next. What kind of job that I agree there's a management and coding. There's a management and coding. That's the hint for this part. So the career pathways, as far as I know, yeah, this is my experience in Tokopedia, but it's already changed to the new one. But as far as I know, career pathways that you can explore is kind of like this. Okay, I'm sorry if the text is just too small. The first one is junior or associate engineer, and then after you, how to call it, like, after you, this is for a newbie or fresh from the oven. If you're graduated from university, we call it like you are a junior or associate engineer, but if you already have the experience, for example, of working in other companies or release some projects or some apps on the Play Store, and then maybe you will hired as a senior engineer. But it based on the interview result. But this is from the a beginner of the Android developer. So basically, you will start with the associate engineer, and then after you gain a lot of experiences, and then working on the some projects, and the difficulty is also like very not very difficult, but difficult enough for the associate engineer. So maybe you will get promotion to the senior engineer. And then as a senior engineer, you will get like more like harder problem, like, and then you will getting the difficulty of the problem will be the highest the highest one, and higher than the associate engineer. And then after you gain more experiences, and then in the senior engineer also, you will be expected to know how to lead yourself, how to mentor your team, how to share your knowledge to others. And then after that, if you know what to do, like for example, oh, I love to manage people, so you need to move to as a lead engineer. But if you think that, oh, I think I'm more on the technical stuff, so I will just like doing research, like doing POC, or maybe I will build technical stuff that maybe other people cannot do that. So it's better for you to move to the principal engineer. What is principal engineer? Principal engineer mostly will lead and oversee the technical initiative, so giving guide the technical direction of the project, and then provide mentorship, guidance to other engineers in the organization. And what is the lead engineer? Lead engineer is provide the technical leadership, more on the giving guidance, and then oversight the specific project within a team. And then after that, if you like expert enough with your job, you will get a promotion to the higher position. For example, the lead engineer will move to the engineering manager. The engineering manager will oversee an engineering team's day-to-day operation, and then ensure the successful delivery of project, and then fostering the culture and collaboration and innovation. That's the formal definition for the engineering manager. And then after engineering manager and you are expert enough, you will move as a head of engineering. What is head of engineering? Yeah, there, the job, the roles for the head of engineering is leadership. It's kind of it's higher. I think it's the highest one. Leadership position that involves overseeing and the technical aspect of a company's product and projects. It's more on the whole Android team or the whole Tokopedia apps like that. And then same with the technical architect. Technical architect, if you are expert enough in as a principal engineer, you will get promotion to technical architect. Technical architect providing strategic leadership and oversight for architectural design. So when it comes to there's a new SDK that we want to implement, and then we need to check the how to make the how to call that, like architectural design for implement the SDK so it can compatible with all of the libraries, or this is having a good compatible inside of the libraries with our apps libraries like that. So they can give like a guidance and direction about software systems in our organization. And then after that, if you expert enough, move to the principal architect. Principal architect will guide the architectural vision and strategic. This job is more on the strategic thinking. of the company's solution. So if you are getting higher on your job, the job is not coding anymore. Sometimes it's just like how to think strategically for the team, for the technology that you want to implement, like that. So there's a career pathways that maybe in not only in Tokopedia, maybe in other companies, you find this kind of job position. And then other than that, you can also like as a freelance, and then you can also as a startup founder. I have two friends, which in a previous in a university, they are they were creating Android app, Android developer, and then they start to create their own startups. It is Reblood and Relief. If you heard about those those startups, they are my friends. And then Android developer trainer or instructor, like instructor in Bangkit or maybe in online courses or other courses. Yeah, you can be those kind of trainer. And then last for me, pursue a career that only align with your interests, skill, and aspiration, but also ignites your passion and bring fulfillment to your journey. So if you think that, oh, maybe it gives me spark joy for me as an Android developer, so just do it, guys. Okay, then the last one, the last session that we have, last part is industry trends. We will quick for this. What is the industry trends in Android? So the first one. Oh, before that, maybe I can ask question. Do you guys know what Android trends right now for Android? Type on chat, guys. Kebanyakan minta Flutter. Okay, Flutter ya. So I take it as a Flutter. Okay, Compose. Okay, Kotlin first. Okay, Jetpack. Yeah. New Android OS. New Android OS. Oh, you mean Android 15, 14 and 15 ya? Flutter. Okay. Wah, Kotlin multi-platform. Okay. Golang. I haven't heard that one. Sorry. Golang is the language, other language backend, right? KMM, yeah, Kotlin multi-platform. Jetpack Compose. Okay, nice. There's a lot of answers. So we can go to the first one. Machine learning and AI integration, guys. So I can see that maybe it's quite new, yeah. But we already know that Google have machine learning kit SDK, which able to do many things like face detection and then text recognition and then barcode scanning, pose detection, document scanning, and if I'm not mistaken as well, this year, yeah, or last year, Google built AI client SDK. It's called Gemini. So it's got quite chat open AI itu mirip similar like that. So we can build it in our Android, but using SDK. And then the second one, multi-platform development. Yeah, that's true. Like someone answer Kotlin and then Kotlin multi-platform. I think that will be trend. A huge factor when looking for the cross-platform development option is how quickly and easily it can build an app. So the option that many people or companies are using right now is using Flutter and Kotlin multi-platform. And then the third one, Jetpack Compose. Yeah, correct. Yeah, one of the answers from the chat, there's a Jetpack Compose. So Compose can help us to simplify and accelerate UI development on Android with less code, powerful tools, and intuitive Kotlin APIs. That's the Android trends, but I still have the next one. The next one is foldable and dual screen devices. So this is the example, the image is example from top chat that we have, chat between buyer and seller. So if you open it on the foldable, we already have this kind of UI that support for the foldable device. In foldable, there's a rear display mode and dual screen mode enable you to build special display features for foldable devices, such as rear camera selfie preview and simultaneous but different display on inner and outer screen. So when you try to open it, so the outer screen will be like turn off, and then if you close, fold, it will like change to the outer screen like that. And then the next one, advancement in AR and VR. AR is augmented reality and the VR is virtual reality. So the example of usage of AR and VR on e-commerce is helping buyers deciding which products fit with them best. The example from Tokopedia, yeah, we already implement, even though it's using SDK also, but we do POC, and we did POC in the past. So user can buy lipstick for women can buy lipstick with the better color. So the feature is you need to go to the product detail page, and then there's an option that coba ini, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. And then you can click, and then it will show several colors of the lipstick, and then there's a screen that show your face right now using front camera, and then you can just change the color of lipstick, and then it will like change your lips with that color. That's crazy. And then the technology provides more realistic shopping experience that enable better purchase decision. And then the last one is 5G connectivity enhancement. The improvements of innovation, how to call it, like network connectivity from previously we have like 4G, LTE, like that. The 5G network offer faster and more reliable internet connectivity compared to previous generation. For example, right now, if you notice, like in TikTok, maybe in Tokopedia, or maybe in Instagram, so there's a real-time streaming. So, for example, people like can do live streaming they can just sell their stuff, or maybe they just like doing live streaming, like live streaming, and that thing I think will be like viral or will be trends in the next future. And the next one is IoT integration as well. IoT integration needs like connectivity or higher connectivity, right? For example, home appliance like need IoT, and then wearable device. So if you buy like Garmin watch, you will like connect automatically with your phone like that. It will wearable OS things. I think it will also like be trends in the next future. I think that's all for the Android trends. And then the last chapter I can give you is the book recommendation. So I think these books helped me a lot when I was a senior and the beginning of my position as a lead. So I think it will be helpful for you. You can just read it. The first one is the first 90 days proven strategies for getting up to speed faster and smarter. And then the second one is software engineering at Google. This is a really good book. Lessons learned from programming over time. And then the last one, the making of a manager. What to do when everyone looks to you. This is also good. The third one, this is my favorite, because when I was Android developer new hire, sometimes I just thinking that why my manager like making this kind of decision. I just didn't understand. But after read all of these books, especially the third one, the making of a manager, and then I also right now being a manager, so I know the result. I know the answer. What is my what the answer of my question in the past, like that. And then the third one, learning through books is like gaining experience without having to live it firsthand. Yep, I think that's all my session today. And thank you for joining the session. Please give me feedback. So there's a link here, Nabila, in feedback. You can just give feedback for me. And if there's any question again, maybe I cannot answer in this session, you can just email me. Okay, I think that's all. Kak Nadia, should I stop the screen? Kak Nadia, I think you are muted.
Okay, thank you, Kak, for the very
Yay!
insightful lessons today.
Yay!
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, Kak Nabila already told us about the daily responsibility in general of being an Android developer, and Kak Nabila's experience also daily life, career journey, essential skills, and also industry trends. So it really catch my mind when Kak Nabila shared story about the career journey, knowing that it's not an instant process, yeah, but a long story and a long journey. So guys, keep up your journey, guys, and we will get what we want if we still fight to get it. Oh yeah, and for all the cohort, please don't forget to fill in the attendance form in the YouTube description. So now we will go through the question from the cohort. Okay, we will go to the first question. The first question from Ali Prisky. Will Android developer be useful someday if some, for example, Android developer are replaced? Is this knowledge still useful? Because I have seen that there is a replacement for it.
Mm, okay, that's a good question. Thank you, Ali, for asking. So, Android developer be useful someday? I cannot answer that question actually. But thing that I can share, if you already have like soft skill and uh, it really helps you to go through a lot of problems when you are being an Android developer. If you need to be, if you need to move to other job, for example, I want to be a data engineer someday because it's very how to call that, like many people, many companies need need that position, like open that position. So if I want to get like, for example, higher salary, or maybe get a long term job and Android is replaced by other job, so it's okay. So because I love to learn new things, right? So it can help us uh, to adapt faster if we move, even though we move to new job or new new things, like that. I think that's, I can answer that question.
Okay, thank you, Kak. So maybe the biggest fear right now is when AI growing so fast and we just can write some prompt and the AI will generate the code for us. Maybe it's the fear of Android developer will be replaced, but we still have a soft skill right now and
Yeah,
it will eh, make us to stay in our career, right?
yeah, right.
Okay, maybe for the next question. Hello, Kanabila. How do you handle the rapid changes in Android technology and app industry, especially in terms of new hardware and software being released regularly?
uh, yeah, what can we do? We only need to keep up with the technology. For example, the OS version is updating, so we need to update us, doing update as well on our app. So, for example, the OS version will be released like for 15, and we need to keep up also. What is the behavior changes? What is the permission changes? Because yeah, we need to just keep up with the technology day by day. Uh, and how do you handle the rapid? That's one that I think, especially in terms of hardware and software being released regularly. Okay, that's for the OS, but for the like technology, new technology. Yeah, for example, there's a Jetpack Compose. I'm not really expert on the Jetpack Compose, but right now I'm trying to keep up to learn the Jetpack Compose because in here we're still using XML, but most of the developers already learned the how to use the Jetpack Compose and try to implement like in a small part of their feature, new feature, they are using the Jetpack Compose like that. So I think if you have time, when working, yeah, in a company, if you have time, use that time to keep up with technology, learn new things, learn what industry need. For example, the Jetpack Compose. So you just use your time to learn that I think.
Okay, so the answer is keep learning, guys, because the technology doesn't wait for us, so we need
Yes,
to run very fast to keep up our learning.
correct.
Okay, next question. Next question is from Raihan
Hmm.
Romzi. How do you stay up to date with the latest Android trends and best practice? And how do you incorporate them into your work at the Big Tech Tokopedia?
Hmm. Okay. uh, Read a lot of articles and then you can join communities like uh, Google developer group, for example. They always like making events, right? Or join with the uh, events that can give you latest updates. So you just when you want to know something new, you just learn it. You search for it. Like if there's a Google I/O, you come to the session. For example, if there's any online session, yeah, you can just come and then you learn it. After that, you can try to implement it. And then if you think, oh, I think it's useful for the company, so you just make a POC and then you inform your work to your manager, so your manager can understand and can understand the tech, can understand the importance. So uh, the manager can add your work to the OKR maybe, or maybe you can just doing sharing session to others. So many people aware with new technology, and you can making a work group and together with other teammates to implement that in your company. Maybe that's what I can say.
Okay, thank you, Kak. So just go search a lot of information in around us and you can keep stay up to date. Okay,
Yay.
maybe for the next question
Mhm.
from Kazari. As an Android developer, how do you collaborate with new individuals from different backgrounds like teacher, cloud developer, and machine learning? What makes collaboration in a project run smoothly?
What is CC?
Cloud
Oh,
computing.
Oh, okay. Basically, as an Android developer, I'm not working directly with them. So
Mm,
maybe I cannot describe how collaboration happen in the project because I haven't experienced to work together with uh, CC and ML, machine learning engineer. So
uh,
mm, maybe I can share the collaboration between because I'm a Android developer or Android engineer is part of the front end. So mostly we are working with the back end team, and then we are working with the test engineer team, and then product team, and then data analyst team. So what can we do? We collaborate with them based on the scope. For example, for the product team, if there's a requirement that is not clear, we will communicate with them. Like we make a meeting, or maybe we discuss and creating a document about uh, requirement that we need to align. And then if with the task engineer, we will just discuss about the task cases that we need to test, the negative one, the positive one, like that. And then the timeline when they can start to test, because we also need to develop until finish first. And then the third one, maybe with the data analysts, they will create trackers, for example, and then we need to discuss which kind of data that they need. Is it sensitive data or not, or we don't need to save this data, like, oh yeah, we need to add this data, like that. More on the discussion with data analysts. And then the backend engineer, with backend team, we will discuss more on the creating the contract API. And then uh, is it already deployed to the staging or not, or in the production or not? And we discuss about the field that maybe it's not same with our contract, like that. I think, yeah, most of the time it will be communication, communication between the stakeholders. Yeah,
Okay,
I
Kak.
think that's all.
Actually, cloud computing works at back-end developer
Oh,
actually.
backend developer, sorry. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's answer the question. Thank
Okay,
you,
thank you,
Nadia.
Kak.
Mm-mm.
Okay, the next question from Salsabila Rafika Handifa. What are the essential steps and guidelines for beginners to create a stand-up portfolio as an Android developer?
Hmm. Essential steps and guidelines for beginners. Uh, okay. Uh, I think start to create projects by your own, or maybe you just join as a freelancer, or maybe you try to apply internship in the company. So if you have experience on build the Android app from scratch, or until it's done, and then I think it will be stand out in your CV. And then actually CV is not only way you can stand out, but you also can how to call it, like, be friends with as many people as possible, so you can get chance to uh, know other people, and they know your work through discussion, not only from CV. And then after they know your work, and then maybe sometimes uh, some people will like ask you, what about you are working with my team, what about you are working with this project, like that, are you interested or not? Sometimes from friends to friends, or maybe from small discussion, you can get like a projects, you can get how to call it, like, experience to work on new project that maybe you haven't worked on, that, I think.
Okay, so it's not just about technical skills, it's also about our relation with others.
Yeah, sometimes we will get a job, we will get a project from other people, right? Not only we apply work at the company
Yeah,
formally.
it's the power of, maybe some people say it like the power of orang dalam.
It's not orang dalam, we pay something, but it's the health way. Orang dalam with network.
Yeah, networking.
Networking, guys.
Okay, so we go through the next question from Audi Ilham. How do you approach handling changes and updates in Android? ever evolving frameworks and development tools?
Mm, oh, okay. Approach handling changes. What is the example for this? Yeah. Handling changes. Oh, maybe with with new OS version, there's sometimes when you handling a permission, yeah, permission it will change. The function change, and then it will buggy or crash sometimes if we don't handle it well. So I think the things that we need to check is what is the behavior change. Is it we already handled it or not based on the Android's update. And then after that, if we haven't worked on that, so we start to work on that, and then we improve how we implement. Uh, is it properly on our app or not? And then if it's done, so we do testing and then release and then monitor again if there's any problem in the production or not, like that. So I think
Yes.
the approach is more on the check first what is the behavior changes, and then we make adjustment on our app and then release it to the user.
Okay, thank you, Kak. So it's about adjustment, about improving our apps, follow the changes and updates in Android.
Mm.
Okay, maybe for the next question from Muhammad Jafran, if you could go back in time, how would you learn Android development more effectively? What would you suggest to a complete beginner on how to learn to be an Android developer?
Okay,
Mm,
it's really interesting question. If you could go back in time, I would learn Android through more practice. So I will build a lot of apps. I will use my time to work on the as many projects as I can. Because in the past, I think, but I don't want to change my past. Yeah, so uh, I have a lot of activities other than in university. Like not only that I finish my task in the university, but I also like active in the organization. So I have a lot of time, and I have a lot of things to do. I mean, and then when it comes to I have free time or uh, there's no task, so I start to like doing freelance, and then after that, I will go back to another activities again, like that. So maybe if I have more time in the past, I will like build as much as I can, so I can have experience to build notes app is kind of like this. Build an alarm like this. Build a chat app. Oh, it's kind of like this. So I have like having with knowledge, like a lot of knowledge about that, and then I can like apply to company that I want. I think, yeah.
okay, so Kak Nabila will learn deeper about
Yes.
Android,
Mm,
yeah, and build a lot of apps. So Kak Nabila will gain a lot of knowledge more than this, more
mm,
than
mm,
you in past.
mm, mm.
Okay, that's great. Next from Tapan, is Android development part of the app security measures? And if it is, how can Android developers integrate it?
Security measures. Mm, Is it about the security in the app? I think it's still hard to check by Android developers, but in Tokopedia we have a team specifically they are working on the security IT security team. So if there's something that we are working on, for example SDK, for example new libraries, they will have to check and then with their tools. I'm not really sure what kind of tools that they have, but they helps us a lot if there's something wrong with the implementation. Like, oh, I think it will be whole of the security, so they will inform us, and we will explore to solve that problem. Like that.
Okay, thank you, Kak. So there's a team who can check on our apps so we can do the improvement if there's any bugs or securities problem.
Mm-mm.
Okay, maybe that's for the next question. From Zulza Ladera Arifin. How do you deal with a situation where you have to manage an Android project with tight deadlines and limited resources?
Oh, it's really cool question. I love this. Okay. Uh, Android project with tight deadlines and limited resources. I think everywhere I experience this kind of thing. Nah, uh, tight deadlines. Usually, I will breaking down first the task. Like, is it really big or not? And then I will start to discuss with product team which scope that I can take out for the MVP because the time is limited, your resources limited. You cannot like making happy everyone. You need to choose, right? Which scope that you really want to release for the MVP. This is the ABCD because we have ABCDEFGHL la la la. But for the product, for example, oh okay, after considering a lot of things, I think I need to release ABCDE. Okay, ABCDE, and then after that, I will like break down the what is the ABCDE, what kind of requirement that we need, and then the resources enough or not. For example, I just only have one Android engineer, and then the next step I will discuss with the product team because it's kind of a manpower planning, and if I just have one manpower, so how to achieve this? I think it's not possible with a tight deadline. For example, they want to release like just only 1 week. 1 week include 1 week, 1 month, including the testing 1 week, for example. So you need to develop the app for 3 weeks. It's really tight, right? Because the scope is quite big. And then the product team will decide they want to add more manpower or not because it's quite a political things like you need to like add more manpower, so you need to pay, right? For example, you need to add other team to to my team. That's possible as well. So that's based on the product team and engineering manager decision, because the one who can add more manpower is engineering manager in Tokopedia. So that's quite of things that I can say. So if they can add more manpower, so it's possible or not to achieve 3 weeks. If it's possible, so we can start to work on the project.
Okay, so in a company, actually, it
There's a lot
is
of negotiation.
flexible. Yeah, if we have only short times, but it is very hard, hard task, we will need other people's in our teams.
Hmm.
Okay, so maybe another question from David. What are Kak Nabila favorite approach or trick and tips for handling multitask and multi-threading in Android development to prevent UI freezes because I had issues with device.
Hmm. I had issues with device. Which device? Is it low device? If it's low device, I think I cannot help anything because the device is quite uh, how to call, like, the low device. We have like low device and then high device for the CPU and then RAM and then like that. And then if we say like, for example, in a high device, there's still the same issue. So I think we need to focus on what is the problem of making the UI freezing. And we try to check like the layout hierarchy, is it already efficient or not, and then is there any uh, uh, how do memory leak or not, and then we can check how the how to uh, implement the UI. Is it already effective or not? So we need to review part that it makes the UI freezes. Is there any process that's not stopped after like several seconds? Uh, and for example, it will coming from the backend didn't give the response or something. So we need to divine, is it from the backend side, is it from the UI side, and then after that we can start to working on that, I think. And then if multi-thread, if it's related to the implementation network getting data from server, we can use it like coroutines using dispatcher IO like that. I think that's part of the solution.
Okay, thank you, Kak Nabila. So we need to review our apps, yeah, if there are any bugs or any big memory to make our app freeze. Yeah, so we need to check and recheck again. Okay, maybe that's for the next question from Dinda Juliana. What are the main challenges for Android developers in a company, considering the many demands and having to update applications according to the latest mobile technology developments? The biggest
Hmm.
challenge.
The biggest challenge as an Android developers, uh, I think, uh, more on, yeah, for the update application based on the OS. I think it's not that hard because Google always give us like step by step, and then which behavior change. I think it's easier for us if we uh, follow their guidance. But sometimes the implementation on our side with Google recommendation quite sometimes different. And then we need to like doing POC before release the update, and then we need to check, is it compatible with other libraries that we already implemented or not, because sometimes if we implement a lot of libraries and then they also didn't change the update their behavior based on those OS, it will be problem, right? It's not only on our side, but also the problem is coming from other libraries. So I think the biggest challenge will be how to make compatible all of these things, the libraries that we have, the Google guidance, and then because our app is really big, like I think that Tokopedia is quite big for the feature itself, and if we change one thing, it will impact to another modules. If that broken when we release to the user, so a lot of users will just, or I will use the other app because it's just too buggy, and it's really annoying for user if they find like oh, last time I'm using Tokopedia is not buggy like this, but right now it's buggy. Why? And then they always have question. After several times we are not resolving that problem, they will go from Tokopedia. They will use another app. That's why we are really careful when we want to change something new on our app, and we need to do like a lot of tests before we release it. I think the main challenge is on making all of this thing compatible. And then if we add new SDK, it will like that as well. We need to check everything again. If there's a OS update, we need to check everything again. It's really tiring sometimes, but yeah, what can we do?
Yeah, it's very crucial
Mm,
because when we use app and it turns out it's lagging, very buggy, and we just
mm.
write a comment for the Google Play Store.
And
Why
give
this app
star
so
two.
late?
That's so sad for developers.
Yeah, and now knowing that make Android apps, it's so challenging. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, maybe kindly understand it. Okay, maybe we will move to the next question from Agate Sitohang. Are Android always only implement the idea from product division,
Mm.
or Android developer can give some advice or new feature to make the briefing from product division perfect?
Yes, we can. One example that we implement is bubble chat. Maybe you, I don't know, you guys notice or not. If you chat with seller and between seller and buyer, there's a chat, right? And there's a new feature that we built. There's a initiative from engineering team, from Android engineering team. They want to make the access to the chat is seamless, not from inside of the app, but it can be floating in the homepage of the device on homepage. So if we click it, it's directly to go to the chat. So it's really help. Oh, I think that's a bubble chat on seller app, yeah. So the seller can just answer the chat of the customer is faster like that. And then I think that's one of the example of product that from engineering team propose. And then the second one, mostly the idea from Android team is improving the how to text stack from the app. For example, implementation of the dynamic feature. Have you heard that dynamic feature? DF. In Tokopedia, we also implement that to reduce the app size. So if the app size is quite big, we only make some of the module as a dynamic feature, as a dynamic feature. So if the user come to the feature, user will download it on demand. So that's one of the feature that we propose as an engineer to the product. Is it okay to add more user experience, add more journey to the user? So before user use the feature, they will see like a loading for user on demand download the feature, and then the product say, okay, yes, it's okay if it can help you to reduce the app size like that. And then yeah, we execute that. And then yeah, I think those features are example from Tokopedia.
Okay, so it's very possible to add some new features to make our apps more great.
Yes.
Okay, maybe to move to the next question from Aurelia Priscilla. How to prioritize features and enhancement when working on an Android project, considering factors like user feedback, market trends, and technical feasibility.
Okay. Feature prioritization is coming from product team and engineering manager, I think. So and technical architect and a lot of people actually uh, need to discuss which one feature that I want to prioritize. uh, as a as a as an engineer, like lead or senior or junior, we only can give the, yeah, not only see, but we can give the advice for them, like, I think it's not really useful for user, or maybe if it's we if you think it's useful, so I think my suggestion like this, like XYZ, like that. So we just like discuss, but the thing that uh, which task that we want to prioritize, it's coming again, it's coming from product and engineering manager team. Like that.
Okay, so there's a lot of discussion and a lot of
Mm-mm.
considerations
Mm-mm.
for making the apps. Okay, maybe we will move to the next question from Gary. Kak, can you give any advice to us about how to efficiently handling background tasks in Android apps?
Background task. Background task mean it's similar like my answer for the handling networking, right? Because it's quite background task as well. So my suggestion, I think you need to use coroutines, like that. So make sure the main thread is not affected by the something that happened in the background. That's why you need to use like routine and then dispatcher IO, and then make sure to add loading in the UI, so user know that, oh, something's happening in the background, so they need to wait for that, like that. I think it's just common handling, yeah, to handle background tasks in the Android app. So it's efficient or not, I think it's based on your implementation. I cannot say details on that, but because there's a lot of experts on the bucket, yeah, you can ask your experts how to implement the code. But as far as I experience, you just use the core routine, and then you just handle the background task and don't impact to the main thread. I think that's enough. I think.
Okay, thank you, Kak, for the answer. So I think it is the last answer. It is the last question from the cohort.
Yay.
And today we will, maybe I want to ask about your closing statement.
What is my closing statement? Oh, okay. My closing statement maybe, oh, I think it will be tips for me. So uh, it's not only for Android developers, yeah, but for the similar like the question in back in time, what I can get advice from someone who already like a long time in the industry. So I think the tips for me will be friends with many people. Like if you come to the event, like Google developer group maybe, or even technical staff, you need to just reach out the speaker. You can just like reach out other people and then be friends with them, because having good network for you, it's good also with your career growth. You can just get new job, maybe you can just get a new project from them, like that. Because personally I think networking is important. And then the second one, leadership skills can be practiced and developed through experience. So if you got opportunity in your, for example, after this you get a job, and then you get a task from your manager, and then it's quite hard to solve, just try do it. Try take an opportunity to work on that, because if you try to solve a harder problem, like day to day, and challenge yourself to learning new things every day, I think it will help you a lot to solve other many problems in the future. And then
Okay.
the last one, try to learn, adapt fast in new environment. If it's, is it a new position or maybe new projects or a new team, just don't worry. You just try to do your best to learn all the things as fast as you can, and then don't limit yourself, because you are able to do many things. I think that's all.
Okay, thank you, Kak. That's a very insightful statement. So we will need to join community to gain our network. So we will get a lot of friends from the technical industry. Okay, thank you, Kak. So maybe we will jump into door prize season. So we will announce about the best question we will get, and the winner of the door prize is, congratulations to Zulza Ladra Arifin, Audi Ilham Atmaja, and Farhan Naufal Nurdiansyah. You guys got the best questions.
Yay!
So, congratulations. Kindly check your student dashboard and see your bucket points there. Okay, so now we currently at the end of the seasons. Thank you guys for coming today. Don't forget to come again at next guest speaker sessions and get another insightful knowledge. Yes, you can leave the session right now. Have a good day. Thank you guys. Thank you,
Yeah,
Kak
thank you
Nabila.
everyone. Thank you, Nadia. Have a good day.